All right, ladies and gentlemen of the YouTube world, this is Chris, aka Barnum11970, and thank you as always for taking time to visit my channel. All right, I am on a roll today, and that is thanks to my subscribers. So thank you out there. You guys are saying things that just I could feel the energy, I can feel the positive vibration, and I know some of you can too. So thank you for that, and let's keep that going. Now, somebody made an interesting comment about the fact of making change. There are people that are starting to get guns and starting to say, it's time to take back what we want by force. Well, let me ask you this. First of all, I could say I totally understand where you're coming from. If somebody abused somebody in your family and you knew who it was, your first instinct is, I want to beat the living daylights out of that person. But you have to stop and think. If you stoop to their level, how are you any different from that person if you are willing to injure a person, whether it's justified or not? I'm not saying a person doesn't deserve it, but who are we to decide who gets to do what? It's like, for example, the death penalty. Somebody is caught murdering somebody, for example, and their sentence is death, which means somebody has to murder that person. See the irony in this? What I'm learning is to ultimately defeat people of power, it's to take away their power. And where does their power come from? Their power comes from their financial ability to control people and stealing people's wealth. And they sell you things that you don't need to profit off of. And if you don't research things, you're doomed to continue to fall into their traps. We're all victims of it. As you could see, even I was. But like, for example, many people will attack me for my sun gazing videos, which I'm currently up to 40 minutes to. And if you don't know about sun gazing, check my sun gazing video out. Don't do it without research. You're going to hurt yourself. But people will mock that, even though I've been doing it now for 2 years. I'm up to 40 minutes. My eyesight is perfectly fine. I've always had 20/20 vision, so it's not like it's getting better. I'm not getting superpowers or anything. But my health has improved. My stress levels go down. I don't react to things as much as I used to. I mean, I'm human. I'm going to get mad from time to time, but I don't spend days feeling that. And they don't want you to know about it because, one, it's free, and two, it can help cure you or improve you. They can't make money off of that. So look at it this way. What do you think is going to be the faster and easier way to take control back? By getting a bunch of people to grab a bunch of guns, go shoot a bunch of people, people die left and right, things get destroyed, ultimately to what could potentially be the ultimate destruction of the planet. Or we no longer buy their products. We no longer contribute to their taxes. We no longer allow them to steal our wealth, and we bleed them dry. Well, then we're defeating them with honor and integrity. We're not stooping to their level, and we are not going to be bleeding in the streets, because whether revolutions work or not, they don't last, because there will always be another person that's corrupt who is willing to take bribes that will sell out that new system. We've seen it time and time again throughout history. So I understand that people want to be like, oh, I want to hurt them. I want to kill them. I want to do all these things to them. I'm not saying it's not justified, but we can't say we are better if we stoop to the levels that they do. And it's like anything in life, like I've said in previous videos, the reason nobody is walking around with a cassette tape player anymore, or hardly anybody, is the fact that we got CDs, which replaced them, and then MP3 players, which replaced them. There's a reason why the majority of people don't have a Betamax in their room with a 13-inch black and white TV. It's because we have better inventions, things that were better. So people didn't spend their whole lives trying to defeat the VHS and didn't spend their whole lives trying to destroy cassette players. They just made something better, and people flocked to it. So instead of us continually lowering our vibration to their level and using violence as a way to gain peace, which is ironic and just a contradiction of hypocrisy, if you think about it in any way. I don't know if that makes sense or not, but it's another Barnunism, so I don't edit my videos, so let's keep it. But the point is, if we stoop to their level, we are no better. We have to find a better way. That is not easy. I'm not here to say I have all the solutions, but I guarantee you there are smart people out there that do, and they're just afraid because they feel like there's going to be some kind of consequence if they stand up against all evil, foreign and domestic. It's time we all wake up. It's time we see that I understand evil. Like some of these trolls that were trolling me, and some of them, the way they were, especially ones that I thought were friends, because there was one in particular, and I'm not even giving him the satisfaction of his name anymore, but I used to talk to him on the phone, and he pretended to be a friend. And he's sold out. I wanted to fight him. I actually got videos in my old channel before I took it down. I actually called him out to fight. I stooped to his level. We didn't get to that point because luckily my wife is just a smarter person than I'll ever be on my best day, and she really put things in perspective. But I understand it. But what would it have achieved? Even if I went there, even if I fought him, and even if I beat the living crap out of him, I would have gotten a little short, a bit of satisfaction. But would it have changed the world? Would it have made him all of a sudden say, "Oh, now I got to be nice"? Who's to say he didn't end up getting other people to attack me or make it worse or escalate? That's how wars start. It's because two greedy people at the top want more money than the other and take more money from each other, and they get to the point where they battle back and forth until it becomes from a one-on-one fight to an all-out war. And the only difference is all they do is send out other people to die and kill for them. And they reap the rewards no matter who wins. Because like it or not, banks give money out to countries at war, and they don't care what side they're on because they sell to both sides. So until we understand that the way we beat the system is by walking away, by no longer complying, by finding a better way, and I'm not suggesting I have the answers, we're not going to be any better. So feel the power. Feel the ability of knowing you can make a change. You don't have to hurt other people. Because isn't it ridiculous when a country says, like, for example, the country that I live in, I love America, I don't love the people running it. But their idea of peace is going over and killing people. Does that make sense? So why should we say, well, we need freedom, and the way we're going to take freedom is by killing people? How are we any better? I'm not saying it's not justified. I'm not saying they don't have it coming. But if we continue to follow what they do, is it any wonder that for thousands of years, the same thing happens over and over again? We ultimately end up in their control. Because the people with the money will always dictate the rules. Because they will be able to buy everything they need to take back the power that we revolted against. That's never going to change. The world is a cycle. If you want to continue in that cycle, don't complain how dizzy you get. We need to find a better way. So somebody out there with the smarts to find a better system has got to end up, stop being afraid, and help us find a better way. Until then, more senseless and needless deaths are going to happen around the world, and a lot of people up top are going to profit off of it. That's a sad way for our existence to be. Don't be a part of that. Time for the new system. Thanks for watching, guys. This is my last video for the day. Peace. And don't forget to have your trolls spayed or neutered.